to Citipointe for about a year now with my family. I am happily married to my soulmate, Reno, and I have two beautiful boys, Anthony and James, 9 and 2. And I'm here to share my testimony with you for proof that I know that Jesus is here. He is real, he lives. God is with us every day, and just to share his beauty and glory with all of you. A while back ago, back in 2010, I was pregnant with little Anthony. We were so blessed because previously we didn't think that we'd be able to have kids. So this was an enormous blessing to my husband and I and our family and friends. After he was born, a few months later, I started feeling really ill. Getting vertigo, so if you're not familiar with that, it's when the world turns upside down, right side up. You don't know if you're falling, shooting up in the air. It's debilitating. And I wasn't sleeping. I don't know why I wasn't sleeping. And we started getting really concerned. I was losing a lot of weight. I was feeling dizzy and nauseous. Vertigo was making it to where I couldn't even get up. And I have this new beautiful baby. My husband and I were starting to see doctors. And one by one, they would look at me and be like, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's your vitamins, you're low in iron. We're not sure. They would do testing and nothing was coming up. And I was feeling a bit lost. I felt like my body was attacking itself and like the enemy was coming in because I almost felt like in a daze where I didn't know what was real. I didn't know what was real life when I was awake. Because I was so sleep deprived. So my husband and I, for this 1 week, was visiting a few doctors. We decided to go to the ER on this last night. This last night we went in and it was late evening or so, and a doctor saw me and he was like, you know, there's nothing wrong with you. You just had a baby. It could be, you know, some depression happening. And he walked up to my husband and pat him on the shoulder and was like, you know what you should probably do is commit your wife. She should go to a mental hospital right now. There's nothing wrong. And if she's trying all these medications to sleep, as I tried everything over the counter to sleep and nothing was working, you need to commit her. And my husband looked at him and baffled, like, that's not an option. She's not crazy. I believe my wife 100% and something's wrong here. So he left. Reno and I are looking at each other and he's consoling me like, we're gonna find out what's going on. And at that moment, we didn't want to feel lost. We looked at each other and we're like, you know, God has this. And I'm like, okay, we can do this, we can find a way. And this is what really changed our faith more so than we ever thought could happen. At that moment, the door opened up. And I can see him walking in and I get very emotional because it's so beautiful and surreal to know that he touched my life and my family's life so personally. A doctor walked in with this aura and glow about him. He had what my husband and I both call Grecian sculptured hair. It was almost pre-placed curls, silver, very brilliant curls. I'm getting tingly just talking about it. I always do. Slowly walked up to us. I mean, the room, everything stopped. My husband and I are like, okay, something's going on here. And as he greeted us, he looked up and said, hi, I'm Doctor, and paused like he didn't know his name. And my husband and I are like, what's happening here? A doctor doesn't even know his name, right? So he looked down at his badge on his jacket and said, I'm Dr. Milano. And now we're looking at each other again, like the doctor doesn't even know his name. He has to look down at his name tag to even tell us what his name is. Okay, so be it, come on in. You are welcome in. At this moment, I don't want to say desperate, but I was desperate. I was desperate for my life, my mental state, my marriage, my child, to have a mother. And he walked behind me, and with his hands, he brushed my hair aside, and he felt my neck. And he said, sweetheart, I know what's wrong with you. And I felt just a sense of calm, almost excitement, because I'm like, see, I know something's wrong. And he told us he's going to run some tests and put those through. And he was gone as fast as he came in. And then the run started to speed up. We had nurses come in, and they started to go and give me scans and blood work. And at that moment, they found out that I had stage 4 thyroid cancer. Because of my child being born was the only reason why my hormones and body started functioning crazy, because my body was in this new phase. If it wasn't for this gift of Anthony coming, they wouldn't have caught it. But more so, that doctor, that part of God that came in, that my husband and I both saw together, is the start of the reason I was able to fight this. So after the doctors in the hospital were doing all those tests, my husband and I, with the weeks later, decided to go and get a thank you package to that doctor to contact him. So first we called the hospital, and they let us know that we don't have a doctor working here by that name. I said, can you, check the records of our scans and our testings of everything that was put in, so that they found, the diagnosis. And they said there was no doctor's names on my scans or my blood work or my testings at that time, that probably a nurse put them through or someone did. And I said, no, there was a doctor that put them through. They said, at times doctors can come and go. We don't have a record of him there. That moment, my husband and I both looked at each other like, God, the Lord is so good. God is so good. It's just proof that he came, put his coat on, and had us taken care of. My husband and I both believe that doctor was an angel. He came in, found what was wrong, and to this day, we cannot find him. So that is such an impactful time for us to know that the symptoms were validated. There was something horribly crazy going on in my body. My body was fighting itself. It was killing itself. Something was in it attacking me. And God came in and was like, my child, I have you. I'm here for you. And I won't leave you. During the next few years was, to say the least, very difficult. During that time, not only did I have multiple surgeries, my husband calls it the samurai sword injury, where I have incisions going this way, and I love my battle scars because I'm here for it, and it's proof that God is here. During that time, though, after the surgeries, I had to be isolated during some of the treatments, more to the fact that with the isolation, you're giving these radiation and chemo treatments, but you also have to sign a waiver that you have to be completely distant from all humans for 7 days at a time. During probably one of the hardest times, when you're fighting for your life and you want human touch and comfort from your family, from my spouse, to hold my baby, my mom, my friends, I couldn't have that. So I was isolated in the mountains at my brother's house with no ability to have human contact or touch. My faith grew so much during that time. I didn't have cable TV. I had 3 VHSs, and I had my Bible. And I connected more so during that isolation time than I could ever imagine. Knowing that he brought that doctor to me, my new baby, my husband, and my family members, I was fighting and I was not going to give up. At one point, they gave me 6 months, and I looked at them like, that one doctor told me I was crazy. 6 months is nothing. God told me that I'm going to stay here. And I did. I fought. It was difficult, but because I had God there, I wasn't alone. I may not have had my family and friends to be able to hold me and comfort me and tell me it was going to be okay, but my Father did. He told me it was going to be okay. He filled my heart. He filled my family's hearts during that time. He gave my family comfort. And he gave me comfort. And he's so real. And he loves each and every one of us with all his heart. I'm so grateful that he decided to show me so much of him so that I could share with others. I mean, what an amazing blessing to be here today, healthy. Now a mom of 2. Little James is 2 years old now. His birth date and due date was on the day that I was cancer-free. So I have my angel, Anthony, who is here to show the cancer, and my angel, James, who is like, Mama, we're celebrating. You killed that. God killed it. He banned it from you, and you are here with us to share this story. God continues to work in my life daily, in my family's life, more than I can even imagine. And I just think it is so important to know that during everything and all the uncertainty, all the things that are happening personally to us, to our companies, and to our homes and cities, that God is here with us. And even though you have to be isolated and you may not be able to be near your family and friends, it's okay because our Father is here with us. And he's not going to be away from us. He will not let us go. And that is our comfort to know